Hello you lovely lot, my name is Max, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're talking about Nottingham Forest and what's been going wrong for us so far in the Premier League this season, including some of my fixes and suggestions to how to get this team fit and firing again. So before we get into that, don't forget to drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so you don't miss a single match preview, all these different videos coming out during the week. And also check out my TikTok. I've been posting pretty regularly over there, some pretty interesting football content going out there at the moment, so be sure to drop me a follow over there and let's start talking about what's going wrong with Forest this season. So to do this, I'm going to be breaking this video down into three sections: what we were doing last season that was so successful, what we're doing this season that's not really going so well, and then what I would suggest we do to make some changes and get some more points on the board. So we're going to start this off by talking about what we did last season and why it was so effective at getting us promoted. The Forest got promoted to the Premier League last season via the playoffs, finishing 4th eventually in the Championship and then beating Sheffield United and Huddersfield Town en route to the Premier League. And to do this, Forest were playing a variation of a 3-5-2, as you can see in red on the board. At the moment, Brennan Johnson leading the line alongside one of Surridge, Keenan Davis or Lewis Grabban. Zinkernagel playing in the hole but pressing really aggressively alongside the front line. Jed Spence offering really good width on the right hand side, Worrell stepping into the right hand channel and really good defensive solidarity down the left. We were more effective down the right than we were down the left, and a really solid defensive unit of the team that eventually conceded the second least goals in the Championship come the end of the campaign. So the shape last season was actually quite lopsided. Often you would see Jed Spence pushing up alongside the attack, Jack Hallback being a little bit more reserved and tucking into the midfield, Joe Worrell stepping into the right channel to offer a bit more progression down the right hand side, and Scott McKenna being a lot more reserved. It was very lopsided towards the right hand side of the pitch. The strikers would then push wide into the channels and Philip Zinkernagel would occupy more central attacking areas. It could quite often look like a lopsided front four that was always occupying the different zones of the pitch in order to create better goal scoring opportunities. So the greatest hallmark of this Forest team was just how solid we were and how difficult we were to break down. We were a side that managed to keep the space compact both vertically and horizontally, forcing the ball into wide areas and eventually stucking the ball into central areas in the final third, absorbing pressure really effectively in these central areas in and around the box and breaking using width on the transition really effectively. We had really strong players who were able to come into wide areas and transition quickly. We were a really good ball carrying side and transition using width. So now we've briefly discussed what was going so well for us in the Championship last season, let's shift things over and start talking about this season and how things have kind of gone off the rails a little bit and why we're struggling so much. So shifting from the Championship to the Premier League, the shape has largely stayed the same, predominantly using that 3-5-2 shape that served us so well in the first place. This did change though. In our most recent result, we did shift to a 4-2-3-1, a front line that consisted of Brennan Johnson, Morgan Gibbs-White, Jesse Lingard and Awani leading the line, looking to be a bit more attacking and create more opportunities, but it didn't serve us too well. It left us too exposed and allowed Leicester to get better opportunities than us. But no matter what shape we're playing, the 4-2-3-1, the 3-5-2, something different, the problems have been pretty universal across the board as to why we struggled so much in the Premier League. We allowed too much space in and around the box. We're not able to compress this space effectively, allowing high quality opportunities to be generated by the opposition. We generally don't put enough pressure on in these areas of the pitch as well. In the final third, we're not putting enough pressure on the opposition to force them into mistakes and just giving them too much space to operate in and around the box. And this really starts from the front line. Forest were too tame against Leicester, and this has been pretty consistent over the course of the season, allowing defenders to step out from the back and distribute from deep positions without putting the pressure on that maybe we would have done last season in looking for high turnovers. And the final and most glaring issue, in my opinion, is the amount of space from front to back. There is so much space in between the lines, in pockets of space where players are able to occupy positions, create opportunities and distribute from deep positions. The team needs to be compressed either vertically by bringing the defensive line up and looking to compress space and force teams to be a bit more structured in their build-up, or we need to drop into a deeper position looking to soak up pressure and counter-attack like a Tottenham or a West Ham, two of the teams who are really effective at doing this sort of shape. Because of the amount of space being vacated by the attacking players, the midfield is forced to push up and try and engage the opposition quickly, but again, we were so easily outnumbered in that position that Leicester could play through us, and this often left us 5-on-4 in the attacking phases with their midfield 4 and their attacking striker Jamie Vardy against our back 4, completely outnumbered and often creating the overloads, and as we saw, creating really good goal scoring opportunities that led to them scoring 4 goals in the process. And that's something we've really struggled with over the course of the season in the Premier League, is a lack of cohesion as to what shape we want to be. Do we want to be sitting deep and defending and compressing space, or do we want to be stepping up and engaging the opposition and preventing them from playing through us? Too often we're finding huge pockets of space between the lines where the opposition team is able to just pick up possession and distribute play and find really good opportunities to create chances. A really solid defensive team would be much more compact vertically, looking to compress space and prevent teams from playing through them, soaking up the pressure, and if you're then going to be a counter-attacking side, you're then able to break as you turn the ball over in high situations. In general, Forest have just been too passive defensively, and that's fine if you want to be a Spurs or a West Ham who are comfortable camping out on the edge of their box and then breaking using the pace and the width that they have in their team. We're not doing this though. We're leaving acres of space between the lines. We're not compressing space whatsoever or making any attempt to turn the ball over high at the pitch, and it's just allowing teams to walk through us and create really high quality opportunities just like Leicester did last night. So with that being said, let's start talking about the things that I personally would change in order to improve this side and hopefully get some more points on the board. Again, I'm no kind of expert on this kind of thing, but this is personally the shift in terms of shape that I would make in trying to improve the side. So the biggest problem I found doing this was that it's really hard to form a shape that gets the most out of every individual player in the team. Joe Worrell is better probably in a back 4 where he's not going to be as exposed for pace, for example, but Nico Williams and Renan Lodi are better in a back 3 because defensively they are just not solid enough to play consistently in a back 4. So as you can see in red, this is the shape that I've come up with that I think should get the most out of the talent that we have in the team at the moment, whilst also making us quite hard to beat, or at least quite hard to play through, hopefully keeping some more clean sheets in the process. So this consists of a back 5 that is nice and tight, nice and compact, compressed both horizontally and vertically, with a screening midfielder, probably someone like a Ryan Yates sat in front of them looking to disrupt play and just keep things ticking, but mostly there to win the ball back and prevent teams playing through us. Ahead of them is a midfield pairing of 2 energetic box-to-box style midfielders who can win the ball back in defensive situations and break forward and aid in the attack on the counter-attack and transition. For me, ideally, this would be Oro Mangala and Lewis O'Brien. I think they're the 2 best suited for this kind of role, both very mobile in the midfield, very solid ball carriers, but also will hopefully do enough defensive work that they can help chip in at the other end of the pitch. And finally then, a front 2, probably still Brennan Johnson and Taiwo Awoniyi. I do think that they're probably the best suited for this specific shape that we would be playing. Gibbs White could come into the team, Lingard could come into the team, but I think these are the 2 best suited for this system where defensively we're looking to be nice and compact, not letting enough space and forcing teams to go wide and around us where we can win the ball back and transition. But when we're attacking, looking to get wide, looking to attack the channels and looking to spread the team, the opposition team that is, as wide as possible and getting in behind, because that's Brennan Johnson's ball game. That's what he wants to be doing, stretching teams, getting in behind and causing problems. And Taiwo off that left hand side is really, really good at receiving the ball, driving at teams over a yard. He's one of the quickest players in our team, and I think this system could potentially get the best out of the personnel we currently have. No matter how you look at it though, it needs to be compact, both vertically and horizontally. Defensively, no more of this large amounts of space left between the lines in each zone. We need to commit to either being a team that sits back and soaks up pressure, getting every man behind the ball, or we need to commit to being a side that comes up, compresses the back line and forces teams to try and beat a high defensive line. We need to pick one or the other. Now personally for me, I would look to be going for the former, going into a deep defensive shape, looking to break out on the counter-attack and not allowing enough space. Basically being able to throw a blanket around the entire team and then looking to transition through soaking up pressure and breaking with pace and width. I think this is where we were the most effective last season in the Championship, and I think this is where we could be the most effective in the Premier League, where we still have that talent deficiency, but we do have hard-working, energetic players, particularly in central areas. So to summarise, it's a back 3-2, wing-backs nice and compact, nice and narrow, looking to have a screening midfielder with two energetic box-to-box midfielders alongside him, and then two split strikers who come narrow when we're defending and can split wide into the channels when we're looking to transition onto more ball dominant teams. Let me know what you think of that shape though in the comment section down below, and of course whilst you're down there, don't forget to drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell, and of course check out my TikTok, of course, where I'm uploading regular football content. With that being said though, that is my fix for Nottingham Forest and how I would address the issues surrounding this team. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. I hope you enjoy the Villa match if you are going. I will see you for the Villa match preview and catch you later.